Leigh Adams in Australia. How are you?
I'm going good, mate. Really good, and it's just awesome that Masarna's back in the top flight. You know, I was pretty excited about that, so that's great news, mate. And let's hope they have a good year.
Yeah. You know what they say about Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the football player? They say he came as a king and left as a legend. That's more or less the same with Leigh Adams, I think.
Oh man, you know what? I was lucky. That was a great time, best time of my life, I guess. You know, we were just lucky to be involved with Masarna on the wave of Tony, really. You know, and you know, Tony sort of transformed Speedway to a mainstream sport, and mate, I just rode the wave with him, basically. You know, and I think we all did, didn't we?
Yeah. It was fantastic times, I have to tell you that. Lots of good riders.
You know, I think we just took Swedish Speedway to another level, you know. As soon as we won the league and, you know, the crowds were just through the roof and everything like that, you know, I think everyone really sort of sat back and thought, hang on, this is a real business, you know. So you guys started the trend, I guess.
I don't know about that. You think so?
I think so. I think so, definitely. You know, but you know, like the whole thing really was, you know, Tony and you know, obviously it was a team effort, but you know the deal. Everywhere we went, Tony was box office, wasn't he? You know, so the crowds were just through the roof, and mate, it was just a pleasure to go racing, wasn't it? You know.
Yeah. And you spent so many years riding Speedway, and you didn't really get injured during those years, not seriously though. And then you went back to Australia, and what actually happened?
I know, it's crazy. Look, there's a desert race up in Alice Springs, which is right in the centre of Australia. And it's quite a famous race. It's a 2-day event. You go up one day, down the next. And, mate, I went up a week before just doing some practice. And, yeah, look, it was a weird one. It was on a Wednesday, and we decided we were humming and hawing whether we were going to go for a ride. And then we decided, yeah, we'll do a run. And it was only probably 20 minutes up, you know. We just did a certain part of the track. So we went up, and then you got to stop at 12 o'clock and wait because the track turns around and you go up one way and down the next in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then when I stopped for lunch, I found out I serviced my bike the night before, and I split an O-ring on the oil filter. So I kind of said to the guys, you know what, don't worry, I'll just put it in the back of the ute and go back. And a friend of mine was a mechanic, so he said, no, we'll fix it. So we kind of fixed it, but kind of not properly, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And, you know, we got riding, and we were probably 10 Ks, or not even that, probably 5 Ks in. And I can remember I kept looking down just to see if it was going to blow, you know, and oil was going to spew out. And I was worried about that. And look, I don't know whether I was looking down at the wrong time, and then, you know, it was pretty fast track. It's like at the middle of the desert, you know, so... And I don't know whether I looked down and then looked up and realised a corner had come up too quick, and I kind of veered off the track and went into a creek crossing, like a little river crossing.
Yeah.
And it was dry, you know, it's in a desert, and it was full of rocks. And, yeah, I got spat off, and, mate, I can't really remember anything else, you know. I ended up on the ground, and that was it. I got knocked out. And I can vaguely remember, you know, laying there, and my mate sort of came over to me. But, you know, I punctured lungs and all that, so I was struggling to breathe and everything. So, yeah, that was that, really. And then, you know, I got a flight out. They had to get me out of the desert to start with, to an airport, to the Alice Springs airport. I went to hospital first, and then got a flight into Adelaide, and then got operated on that night. So, yeah, it was all a blur, mate.
Yeah. And when you do have an injury like that, Leigh, how long time does it take for you to more or less accept the injury? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's tough. And you know what? I was in hospital probably nearly 2 weeks, and then I got a rehab centre. You know, you go to rehab, and man, it was really when I got to rehab, you know, and I realised, man, I'm in the deep stuff here. It's pretty serious, and yeah, it was really tough. My first couple of weeks there, you know, I couldn't really talk to the kids, and I was just really upset because I realised that, you know, how bad it was, sort of thing. I think when you're in hospital, you got that many drugs and stuff going through you. It's all a bit of a blur, you know. So it took a while, mate. It took a long while to sort of just to get life back in order, basically. You know, you got to start life again, really.
Yeah. What about now? I mean, you're back in business. You told me that you just gained a little bit too much weight, maybe. What are you up to nowadays, then?
Look, I was really big on the junior speedway. You know, I wanted to try and give junior speedway a shot in the arm and bring new bikes and stuff in, which I did that before I got injured, and then obviously got injured and sort of that shut down for about a year.
Mm.
And I've been building a few since then, junior and senior bikes. And just trying to do as much as I can, you know, training schools and stuff like that, you know, just helping out, you know, whoever. There's a lot of kids around, you know, Mildura's a little bit like Harvester. There's loads of talent sort of coming through, and I try and help the young ones and try and help and then they go on to senior speedway, you know, so I try and help them as much as I can on senior speedway, so try and teach them how to ride a bike right.
Yeah, so we might see some of them here in Avesta then later on.
You will, mate. You will. We got a really good crop coming through. Probably give them a couple of years, and they'll be coming into England. You know, there's probably 3 or 4 that look really good. You know, they're not all from Mildura. There's one kid that I helped from Cowra. Matty Gilmore, he won the 250 World Championships last year. Mm-hmm. It looks really good. You know, we're always producing talent, which is good.
There's so many guys asking about you, like I said before, and what they always said that Leigh Adams is one of the best riders ever ridden for Masarna. What do you remember about the time here in Avesta in Masarna Speedway?
Oh man, it was just great times. You know, I was so fortunate to, as I say, ride the wave and come into Masarna when I did, and then obviously to win the league the first year, that was just crazy. And mate, so many great people, great sponsors. You know, I just got looked after. I got treated like a king when I come to town. New Volvos, you know, it was awesome. I just had great times and great memories, you know, family and everybody, you know, it was really cool.
And now you can see Masarna, they're back, not on top yet, but they're back in the highest league. What would you like to say to Masarna? They have a meeting coming up tomorrow, I think.
Well, just, you know, really just say hello to the fans and obviously welcome back, you know. There's probably a lot of people that, you know, used to come and faded away, and hopefully they're back. And, you know, I see they've got a pretty exciting team. They got one of the Pavlicki boys, haven't they? And,
yeah.
I really rate them, you know. They're from Lesno, and I saw them come through the ranks at Lesno, and, you know, I just you know, just say hello to everybody, and you know, not only the fans, but all the sponsors and all the people that were involved, you know. So just great memories, Johan.
Yeah, it certainly was. Will it be possible for you to come to Europe later on, or will that be a hard trip for you?
Look, I'd love to, mate, but travel is just a killer, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, travel's pretty hard at the best of times, and it's made twice as hard, you know. But you never say never. Never say never, you know. I'd love to come back there and see everybody.
Yeah. So that means that if people from Masarna would travel to Australia, then they're more than welcome to give you a call then.
Come to Melbourne. Yeah, look, we had a Grand Prix in Melbourne, and that was awesome. I got involved there. I was an ambassador, so I helped out as much as I could. There's obviously restrictions with the way I am, but you know, it was an awesome event. Great stadium, an awesome event. So if anybody's looking for a holiday, come on down.
Yeah, and maybe meet you there then. Will you be there next year as well?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going back and doing an ambassador job, and yeah, look, it was really cool. You know, it was just you probably know the deal. Just great to get Speedway back in Australia and in a great stadium. You know, it's just fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Leigh Adams, and you say hello to your family, your wonderful family, and I will send your message to Masarna then.
No problem. No problem, mate. Say hello to everyone. What's Big T up to?